Happy Monday, Misketeers! Welcome back to Missing Out Mondays, where we tell you what we're into. Start your week off right. I'm Tauri Jay.
I'm Lex Michael.
Lex Michael, what are you into this week?
So I've been going back, and for the first time since childhood, since probably middle school, I've been watching Invader Zim. It's all on Hulu.
Oh, nice.
Netflix, they're going to have the movie dropping this month, Invader Zim, Enter the Florpus. So I figured what better time to go back and revisit this Nickelodeon cartoon from like 2001, 2002.
Yeah.
It's dark.
Yeah.
It's super dark. I'm really surprised, especially now that I'm older, that they went to the guy, Jonan Vasquez, who created, among other things, Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, and said, hey, do a show for kids.
Right.
And he did, and it's super dark, and I'm really blown away that they let him go as dark with it as they let him go with it. But I'm having a great time watching it again, and I'm realizing how formative it was for me as far as my sense of humor.
Oh, yeah.
As far as I think we've talked on the show a bunch about how Extremity I often find hilarious.
Yeah.
And I feel like some of that comes from being a fan of Invader Zim, but also a lot of Jonan Vasquez's comic work.
Yeah.
From the time I was like, 10, 11.
Yeah, I get that. There's an episode where Zim is harvesting people's organs,
so
right?
Dark Harvest is the one when I'm talking to people about how I'm rewatching it, and I'm like, what's an example of the show going crazy dark? Dark Harvest is the one I bring up because so if you don't know the premise of the story, Zim is an alien who, as part of his sort of people's global conquest plan, which they're on round 2 of because he completely fucked up round 1.
Right.
He desperately wants an assignment, and they just want to get rid of him. So they send him to a planet that they're not even sure is there, and that planet's Earth. So it's this super incompetent alien trying his best to conquer the planet. There's only one kid in school who sees through his really terrible disguise, which is just contact lenses and a hairpiece. And nobody else sees that Zim is an alien except Dib. So there's an episode where Dib is giving Zim shit about how, like, oh, you're going to go to the nurse, and the nurse is going to see you don't have any human organs, and then you're going to be outed as an alien, and, like, the government will dissect you and shit like that. Ha ha ha. And Zim goes, okay, well, maybe you've got a point. So let me get me some organs. And he has this machine, this device, where he is essentially going around the school, and we're talking like they're depicted as like middle school aged, essentially, where he's going around the school and harvesting organs from other students and replacing them with other objects. And the whole thing is more and more and more constructed like a horror movie, where he's the monster in the shadows that's preying on everybody. But Dib has this device where he can sort of scan people and see if their organs are in place. And he'll look inside other students, and like their spleen is gone, and there's a ruler there, or like one of their kidneys is missing, and there's a cat, shit like that. But by the end of the episode, Zim is this hideous mass of organs and bile, and he's sitting there in the cafeteria, and he talks, and it's almost like he half belches, and like some intestine just rolls out of his mouth and shit. It's insanely fucking dark. Well, I'm just spoiling the shit out of this episode, and it ends with him, because there's light continuity, and that they'll occasionally reference a past episode. For the most part, it sort of resets at the end of every one.
Yeah.
He eventually gets Dib and replaces part of Dib's voice box with a little can that makes a moo sound. Like when you move it, it makes like a moo. So every few words, Dib will be making these mooing sounds. But now they're sitting in the nurse's office, and he's saying to Zim, you won't get away with this, because now, like, essentially you have too many organs, you've made yourself a monster, etc., etc. And the nurse comes over to Zim and goes, wow, what a healthy little boy and such plentiful organs. And then goes over to Dib, and Dib starts to speak, and the mooing sound comes out of him, and the nurse freaks out. She's like, it's not human, it's horrible. And then, the episode ends with like a spinning newspaper, and the headline's like, hideous mooing boy discovered, like monstrosity shit. It's that kind of show.
Yes.
It's surprisingly dark for something that they aired on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, though I feel like Nickelodeon was allowed to get away with quite a bit back in the day.
They I
guess even now.
Well, like Rocko's Modern Life was a surprisingly clever show.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like, they'd make jokes about the censors and things like that, like stuff that would go way over kids' heads.
Mm-hmm. and Rocco worked in a phone sex operation place.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah.
I gotta go back and watch Rocco. Aren't they doing like some kind of revival for Rocco now too?
I thought so, but I feel like it was announced years ago, so maybe it's never happening. Who knows?
Maybe. Oh fuck! I'm gonna look at Hulu and see if Hulu's got Rocco. It's got to be streaming somewhere.
It's got to be. Everything is everywhere.
Unfortunately, that's not true. There's somehow still a bunch of shit that you can't find.
Yes. No.
Go to Netflix and see how many movies they've got pre-1960. Come back to me.
I don't think movies existed back then.
Yeah, they didn't invent movies till Fight Club came out. That's just the one I picked from '99.
Yep. That's the earliest movie.
That's the first movie.
Everything else is just it's just Jack Black and Mos Def acting things out.
I haven't thought about that movie in a minute.
Yep.
No, every Citizen Kane was just a dry run for Fight Club.
It was.
Yeah.
All the themes are there. Rosebud was his other side.
He was the sled. But anyway, yes, I dig it a lot. That is the sort of level of darkness we're operating at. That's sort of the sense of humor we're operating at. The humor is extreme. The humor is belligerent. The humor is completely random.
Yeah.
But it definitely had an impact on me when I was a kid, and I'm definitely having a good time going back and revisiting now. And I'm very much looking forward to the Netflix movie, which drops, I think, as of this recording, in a little over a week and a half. Okay,
nice. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. I've decided not to go back because I just want to live in it like by itself.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, I mean, enough time has passed to where I don't want to be like, well, this is wrong. Because, I don't want to be one of those people. I don't want to be the internet. I don't want them to go back and be like, Dib didn't sound like that. Wow, inconsistent with Dib's sister.
But I do believe, right, they're bringing back the entire cast, right?
Probably.
I don't think they're subbing anybody out.
Yeah, but like, what if someone got punched in the throat between then and now?
Like, they bring back Richard Horvitz as Zim, but like, yeah, like maybe just somebody fucking punched him right in the Adam's apple before coming into the booth, right? That very day. And they're like, no, we're on the clock. We can't reschedule this. And so he's just like, I'm Zim. No, it's like the fucking voice from Us that Red does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an invader. Once upon a time.
Okay, I'm going to talk about my thing now. Lex, I had the pleasure of watching Hobbs and Shaw.
I have not seen yet.
Yes. I don't spoil. No, this is a no spoiler podcast.
Okay, let me. I'll pose the question to you this way: is it what it appears to be based on the marketing?
I don't even know what that question means. I'm just going to tell you my thoughts on it.
Okay,
and then you can glean from that which you will. I thought it was a very fun movie. I think it's a lot of banter. Like, I think the visuals are crazy. They do a good job of spreading out the different set pieces. I mean, there's a little bit, for my taste, too much of the like antagonism between the two main characters, Hobbs, played by The Rock, and Shaw, played by Jason Statham. I think that antagonism goes a little too long, but other than that, like, I think that like they're definitely looking to build a franchise, and I think that they picked the right people to build it on the backs of. There are a lot of fun cameos in the movie as well, which I think is really cool.
I don't want those cameos spoiled for me because I do plan on checking this out, and I don't know if we've really talked about it on the show. I am a fan of the Fast and the Furious series.
Right.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that one of the cameos is not Vin Diesel.
Actually, spoiler alert, he shows up and he's like, blah, 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 blah. And they're, yeah.
1/4 mile at a time.
And they completely emasculate him. And then both of the Rock and Jason Statham take off their shirts and start flexing their pecs. And it really makes him feel sad. Because you know what? I read an article about how those three men have like things in their contracts about
like how many times they can get punched or knocked down.
Yep. Which is silly. I don't know if you and I have had the discussion about how I feel like the only reason why Vin Diesel doesn't like The Rock is because The Rock is super charismatic and also has an Adonis body. And it like makes him feel like less of a like manly man to be near The Rock.
Vin Diesel's not going to listen to our podcast anymore.
Okay. I mean, look, if you're listening to Vin Diesel, not prove me wrong, but like, let me know what's up. I mean, not to say that you're uncharismatic and not in shape. It's just like The Rock is a literal Greek god. People would write stories about him, his charm and his flair. I like The Rock. So I'm just saying that like you can't compare yourself to a Greek god. Like it just doesn't work that way. So that's it. Just let me know, Vin Diesel. What's up? Am I right? Does it make you feel bad to admit that I'm right?
It will be interesting to see, right? Because yeah, they very publicly don't get along with each other, it seems like. And there are a lot of people who view the very existence of Hobbs and Shaw as a big middle finger to Vin Diesel. And now you've also, of course, got Fast and the Furious 9, which might be filming already, which is going to be, again, like a Diesel-led movie.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see what it looks like when you have a franchise that is almost at war with itself. You know, like how do you then cross over Hobbs and Shaw with the Fast movies proper again, right? Like if those two guys don't want to be around each other.
I mean,
you just hope that Jason Statham doesn't have strong feelings one way or the other, I guess.
Right. I mean, they managed to do it because The Rock started in Fast 5 and they're already going into Fast 9. So like they managed to pull it off over the course of 3-4 movies. They just limit their time together. I think that, but like also again, like Hobbs and Shaw is definitely setting up to feel like a franchise film. Mm-hmm. And so like maybe 9 will be the last one and then they're just like all in on Hobbs and Shaw, cutting out the Diesel because, you know, and going clean energy. Jesus. Yeah, well, because I think that they will probably have more cameo because like once we start getting into like 9 different people in the movies, where we already have a large family, and so like I think that at this point they may be relegated to cameos like, hey, we're doing another job in another city, but I came to hang out. You know what I'm saying? That's what Jason Statham sounds like.
Okay.
He's like, hello, I'm Jason Statham. I am from England and I have an English accent, and I am doing another movie with Hobbs.
And it's like, hey, what part of England you from? He runs away.
The South England.
Yeah, the northest, southish area.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
The western part of the east.
I just hope that they don't get too like, which they're gonna, but too winky where they're like, hey, we got our own thing to deal with, and then they like fly away. And then you're like, oh, I get it. They were on their way to Hobbs and Shaw 3. Ho, 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 ho. Look at this interconnected network of movies.
Okay. That's fine.
Yes, that's how people react.
I'm really hoping though that they go to space in one of these eventually, because they've been introducing sci-fi shit like in Fate of the Furious. Charlize Theron had the like army of robot cars,
right?
And in this one, you've got Idris Elba. Right, he's using technology to basically make himself superhuman.
Oh yeah, dude, this movie is a full-on sci-fi flick. Like they have sleek gadgets, they have crazy vehicles. Oh bro.
So I want them going to space. If not in Fast 9, then in Hobbs and Shaw 2.
Yeah, well maybe they'll have like a drag race on a space station, you know, because they're already circles, and so they're like, go around the circle in 0 G, you know.
I would watch that.
Why? Who wouldn't?
Anybody who wouldn't watch that's fucking. They're lying. They're lying to themselves. They're depriving themselves of something truly joyous. Embrace joy. Embrace love.
One could only hope, baby.
The world is a dark and scary place right now, and I feel like the light we all need is Hobbs and Shaw in space.
That's Hobbs and Shaw 3, but we got to get Fast and the Furious to space first.
Okay.
You know, they got to break the atmosphere and then open the way for the rest of the franchise to bust through.
Right. You need to do Hobbs and Shaw, then you need to do Hobbs and Shaw Kill, and then you can do Hobbs and Shaw Kill again in space.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, if all goes well, I think the 10th Fast and the Furious should do like a time jump, and then everything is in, like, we are basically intergalactic at this point. So when they hit the NOS, they're like, it's basically light speed, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh, it's time for the great space race number 6. Oh boy. And this one is for the fate of the Milky Way galaxy.
It's dipped into Stallone a little.
a little bit. Whatever. You know what Vin Diesel sounds like, and it's Stallone.
Here's what I definitely want space, and if they're not going to do space, I want them to go all the way in the other direction, and it's all horses.
Okay. I was thinking you were going to say they were going to journey to the center of the earth, which I would also be down for.
On fucking horses? This sounds dope.
Yeah. That's it. That's what I'm into. Guys, what are you into? What are you watching? Did you check out Invader Zim? Do you have thoughts about that? Did you watch Hobbs and Shaw, and did you love it? The answer is yes. The answer is you loved it. So let us know.
We know you better than you know you.
It's true. If you think you didn't like it, you're lying to yourself. It told you exactly what it was coming out the gate. If you didn't believe it, it's your own fault. So let us know. Hit us up on Twitter at Missing Outcast, MISSINGOUTCAST, or you can follow us on Instagram as well at the same thing, Missing Outcast. But if you want to hit us up on our personal social media, Lex, where can they find you?
I am on Twitter and Instagram at the Lex Michael.
And you can find me at Tauri Jay, TARIJAY. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the 1997 Quentin Tarantino film Jackie Brown, starring Pam Grier, Samuel L. Jackson, Robert De Niro, Michael Keaton, other people. And it's going to be a really fun discussion about this really cool film that it was inspired by blaxploitation. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, it's available on Netflix, so watch it there or anywhere online. Just Google it. So until we see you tomorrow, have a great Monday.
It's a positive affirmation.
Heck yeah.
I was going to have a not great Monday, and then you said that, and I was like, this is a good idea. It's good.
I'm
I'm
glad.
going to do that. I'm going to internalize that.
Would you say it's your hashtag Monday motivation? Boom.
I wouldn't. I guess you could say that. I would not say that personally.
All right. Well, stop denying yourself joy.